Hi, it's Louise. You guessed it, we're making mashed potatoes. I thought since the holidays were coming up, it would be a great time for me to share some quick tips with you on how you can make classic, delicious mashed potatoes for all of your holiday meals. But before we get started, can I share with you a few things? We are not going to be making mashed potatoes out of cauliflower. Those are not mashed potatoes. And we are not going to be using chicken broth for added flavor. We are going to be using real Idaho potatoes, real half and half, and real butter. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is I usually measure out about 1 potato per person per recipe. And that gives you a little bit extra for leftovers. We're going to peel our potatoes and dice them into an even size. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Louise, why is it that you're being so dramatic about mashed potatoes? Well, just between you and I, potatoes kind of have a special place in my heart. Oh, that's right, the potatoes. The first thing we're going to do after you've peeled your potatoes is cut them into an even size, and that will allow them to cook evenly in the water. Quick tip, we're going to spray our knife with a little bit of cooking spray, and that will keep it from sticking to the potato when we cut it through. About this size is perfect. Place your cut potatoes in a large pot, and then fill your pot with cold water just until the water covers the tops of the potatoes. And we're also going to add in about a tablespoon of kosher salt. This will allow the potatoes to be seasoned as they're cooking and absorb the water. Place over onto a medium to high heat and just gently boil them. Once your potatoes are fork tender, drain them. We've drained our potatoes because they were fork tender. Fork tender, you're asking me, what does that mean, Louise? Well, exactly that. You can stick a fork into it very easily. So I set the colander back over the pot and just going to let them sit here for about 15 minutes so that they can let out all of their steam so we can have great fluffy mashed potatoes.
Mommy, why are you always making mashed potatoes?
Well, but we still have one more step left. We are actually going to use a potato ricer. Now these are available pretty much everywhere nowadays, and what it's going to do is squeeze the potatoes through these tiny little holes and allow even more steam to come out so we have a really dry and fluffy mashed potato. And if you remember, we salted the water, so when you taste the mashed potatoes at this point, they already are perfectly salted and taste fabulous. Now, I don't know when I fell in love with mashed potatoes. I mean, is there anything more classically American than mashed potatoes? What would meatloaf be without mashed potatoes? That's like, what would milkshakes be without French fries? Man, I love a good milkshake. Oh, potatoes. Okay, we're back to the final step in our potatoes. We have hot potatoes, we have hot butter, and hot half and half. That's really an important step because we want all of the ingredients to mix together really nicely. We have a paddle attachment for our standing mixer. We're going to add in all of our butter, and then slowly we're going to add in our half and half. And one of the most important things about making potatoes is that you don't want to overmix your potatoes. So just when they start to come together, we're going to turn up the mixer, and they're starting to get really creamy. I'm going to scrape down the sides just once, but you can see they're nice and creamy, and there are no lumps in there because we took the time to rice them. There you have it, classic mashed potatoes. I think we all know why I love mashed potatoes. What's your excuse? Who am I kidding? Jeez Louise, that's good.